Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the channel. It's a little bit dark in here. Normally I have the lights on, but I'm going to talk to you about the realities of van life. So I'm going to show you what van life's really like, especially in the dead of winter. It's not like it is on Instagram at all. So let's talk about what they don't show you. Currently, I've got these lights on because they're battery powered. I've got no lights on anywhere else, complete and utter darkness. It looks lighter on the camera actually, and I'm doing some work as I do, and I'm now down to, that says 12 volts, which means I'm down to probably the last dregs of my battery, probably 10%, maybe 10% max of my battery. It's 600 amp hour or 628 amp hour lithium, so it gives me about 60 amp hours. It's now 10:15 in the morning, and we use about 150 amp hours a day, and it is December blah 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 14th or something. It's near mid-December, so we're coming up to the shortest day of the year. Sunset today is going to be 5 to 4, I believe, and sunrise was 8. At 8 o'clock this morning I was getting 0 solar, and now I'm getting about 40 watts I think, but it needs to be over 100 watts to even keep up with my usage. So it's just dwindling away. We haven't been on hookup for about 3 weeks, and now we've got to this point, and this is kind of one of the realities of it. We are going on a campsite Friday. It's now Wednesday, so I've got to get through the next 2 days. We have an EcoFlow, but that's not in the van at the moment. That's off being charged up somewhere, so hopefully that's going to get dropped off to me in the next couple of hours, and I'm hoping it's going to last the next couple of hours. So we've got the diesel heater running as well, so that's using a little bit of power. I haven't plugged my laptop in, so yeah. Sort of like living on the seat of your pants, isn't it? Actually, I don't want the diesel heater to turn off, because not suddenly anyway, because that can damage the diesel heater, and plus it's freezing. It's like 1 degree outside or something. So we want to keep it nice and warm in here. It's nice and warm in here at the moment. If that goes off, then I will have to get my thermals out. So this is our 3rd winter now in the home, and our 3rd Christmas. And every year has been a real struggle with power. When we first went out, we only had 200 amp hours of lithium and no EcoFlow. Then we got the EcoFlow, which did help because you can charge that every day. It's portable, and we do that. And then we upgraded to the 628 amp hour house battery, which does last longer, obviously 3 times longer, or just a little bit over. So we can go longer between charges, but we still, if you're not getting sun in, and you're not driving, I mean, I can't charge that much off my driving anyway, because I've only got a 20 amp hour battery charger, DC charger, because my alternator is really pathetic, because this van is nearly 40 years old. Anyway, the first winter we were out, I did use a petrol generator. I know some people are like, "Ooh, don't use a petrol generator," but as long as you're sensible with it, I used to park in lay-bys and do it. Now we have a new lock-up area which I can take my van to. My petrol generator is actually broken at the moment, but I'm going to try and get that fixed. And then when I go to my lock-up, I can use the generator, because it's like on a big builder's yard, no one's going to care, to charge things up a little bit as well. So that's going to help out coming up. Winter van life is a lot harder than summer van life, but power is a big issue if you're off-grid a lot like we are. I know people say, just go to a campsite, but campsites are expensive. You don't want to be going to campsites too regular. It just gets really costly. See, that brings us on to the parking stuff. I mean, we have some places we park. None of them are that glamorous. I mean, I can show you this one. I'm kind of parked under this tree, and it does get quite muddy around here. But I'm on a busy road. There's other vans obviously parked here, which is fine. But, you know, there's nothing here. There's no like real nice scenery to look out the window at, and I've got the blinds shut this side of the van because it's just a road and there's buses. It's a busy road as well, but it's a convenient spot. It is free, and it's convenient for Tracy to go to work, so that's why we come here sometimes. And a lot of the scenic spots are getting taken away by councils and things. There's a whole thing in Scarborough, people know about this. I think it's backfiring on them a little bit, I'm not sure, but they've done an 18-month trial ban up there, and now apparently the local residents are complaining because all the vans are now parking outside their houses and stuff. And there was a newspaper article, or a news article came out and said, oh, it may have backfired because we haven't solved the problem. We have moved the problem. Now we're a problem, apparently. And there's been reports of van lifers dumping their grey waste in the hedges it's just washing up water, but okay. They make it sound like it's like something awful, and hanging their washing on hedges, people's hedges apparently, and being abusive apparently. I've never experienced van life as being abusive. I've never seen anybody hang any washing on anyone's hedges either. And we've gotten around the grey waste thing. I mean, that's a topic. I mean, you could go on about that, but whatever. And the fact that they're calling us a problem. Oh, and the other thing was, and they're using public taps, so we're not part of the public either. So basically, they've generalised van lifers into this group where we're not part of the public and we are a problem. So we're not allowed to use the public taps apparently, because we're not part of the public. But this is another thing about van life that people don't consider, people don't see. You are kind of like discriminated a little bit. People do have this kind of weird prejudice sometimes against you. Living in a van can raise your anxiety a little bit, and I think for me, I get anxious about obviously the van and the reliability of the van, the breakdowns, that kind of thing, repair costs and all of that stuff, but also where I'm parking, safety. We've never had a problem. I'm not saying we won't have a problem at some point, but you always worry about your safety. And if I leave the van for any period of time, I always worry about the van being left and somebody breaking into it, or stealing it, if the worst case scenario. And what people think of you as well. If you're the kind of person that is really concerned about what people think, then it's probably not for you, because I've had some horrible things said to me since I've been doing van life. I've met lovely people too, but you do get some people that are they're really anti you living in a van. And the van clean can be a challenge as well. I mean, it was said to me when I first went into van life, they were like, oh, you'll love it because you hardly have any housework to do, or you can do your housework in 5 minutes. It's not the case. Especially winter, constantly cleaning, because if you're in and out of the van, you're traipsing in mud and stuff. The floor, you have to keep constantly hoovering it and cleaning it and stuff like that. Every day I have to literally go through the whole van and clean everything, because if you don't, especially when you're driving, I do like to have the window down sometimes, even when it's cold, and you get in stuff blowing through the van from the road. And also stuff gets cluttered sometimes. You can have too much stuff in the van, so we have to keep making sure we take stuff to the lockup, and because if you don't, then things just build up, and then you're all of a sudden there's rubbish everywhere. Not rubbish, but your stuff everywhere, And of course, it's the constant, I've got to get water, I've got to get power, which I think is the situation I'm in now, and I've got to get rid of my toilet waste, and it's all this stuff you've got to keep. That's just always on your mind. So wherever we're going, it's like, okay, we're going there. Okay, I need to obviously dump my rubbish. I need to do my toilet. I need to have I got enough water, for the next few days or whatever. I want to have a shower, so I need to make sure I've got that. I think, and diesel for the diesel heater and all that stuff, as well as putting petrol in to get you to the places where you need to go as well. So everything is just a constant blah. And of course, there's things like doing your laundry as well, which is another added thing, because there's no space for a washing machine in most vans. I know some do, but mostly that's not a thing. And obviously, whenever you're driving one of these things, I know I've said it before, it is like going through an earthquake, and you get things break constantly, and a water leak will appear and things like that. So you're constantly having to keep your eye on things and making sure everything's tippity-boo, because you don't want water leaks to continue for a long period of time. And sometimes the rain comes in as well, so you have to get up and fix that to prevent damage to your van. But obviously, what we have learned through doing it over the last 3 years roughly is how to fix these problems. I can normally nip things in the bud really quickly if I've got a leak on the roof, what products to use. Also, sometimes you'll go to a parking spot and you won't be able to park there, but it's like learning where the alternatives are. Or sometimes there's a few apps where you can just literally, in a pinch, if it's an emergency, you can like pay for a parking space, like a supermarket or something like that, cost a few quid for the night, which gets you to the next day. It's all that kind of thing. Having said all that, I still wouldn't change it. I quite like the challenge actually, but it does have its plus points, and maybe I'll do another video about that and why living in a van outweighs the stresses and the anxiety and the problems that you face with living in a van. even dealing with the public sometimes. What I'm saying is van life is an adventure, and I do like an adventure. So I want to know, if you live in a van, what's the hardest thing that you have to face? If you're thinking of living in a van, then I want to know what worries you the most. And maybe we can have a discussion in the comments. Okay, so that's my video today, and I will try really hard not to be a problem. Anyway, if you did like the video, then please do like, comment, subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you have, thank you very much indeed, and God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, here's the jingle.
We'll ride these roads forever, side by side we'll chase the sweetest moments whispered in our little space. With laughter and loving every turn we take, this van called Amazing Race, no chance we'll break.